Where I grew up, you meet so many people from so many different cultures, like so much background. If we're gonna have kids.
Our kids? Who says that isn't gonna happen?
Hey guys, and welcome back to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. Talking to you guys about Syngin and Tania. Whew. This one's a difficult one, guys. So, yes, Syngin and Tania madness kicked off. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for a notification of the uploads. And for those of you returnees, well, you already know. You got the minerals, you got the minerals, you got the minerals. Alright, listen, mineral gang, don't forget to grab your merchandise. Remember, grab your new hoodies that we got there. Send back to the manufacturer. I appreciate you guys. So, talking about Syngin and Tania, I think this is very interesting because I think, you know what, two people in a relationship who are passionate, want to be heard, want to be seen, and want their different styles or the different avenues in their lifestyle at the moment. Like, there's different avenues they want to go down, okay? You got Tania, who wants a bit more structure, and you got Syngin, who just wants a bit less structure and wants to be the free spirit that he calls himself to be. Here's my thing, very overall. I don't believe any relationship you can go with the flow. It just can't keep happening as go with the flow.
A little bit of seriousness, a little bit of like, I have 8 careers I might want to do. Let me try out a couple.
Why do I say that? There must be a structure. Your relationship must have some basis of structure. For you just to keep on going means you oftentimes have no vision. Let me be very, very frank. If you want to go with the flow, be single. Relationships are not for go for the flow. I'm going to be very frank with you. I remember saying to myself, me too, I'm go with the flow. I say go to the flow because I have no plan. Number 2, I don't know where I'm going and I'm scared about that. So I say I'm going to the flow. And so when I look at my own life and look at the point where I've said, oh, I'm going with the flow. No, it's because I didn't know where I was going to go to get to the next step. And I feel pressure. So I just, instead of saying I care, I say, no, I don't care. And I say, oh, no, I'm go with the flow. Yeah, Syngin, you're not go with the flow. Yeah, you like your fun, everything like that. What you don't like is pressure into trying to be something that you're not. Alright? And be something into something that you're not ready to be. Truth of the marriage, you're not ready for marriage at this rate. You're not ready for marriage because it's a sacrifice. You have to do what you got to do. Right now, as you guys already know about me, I'm doing YouTube. I'm doing it full time. Not by choice. My original choice would have been to get a job. I lost my job. And I was applying for jobs. And I'm sure I heard the Lord just say, listen, sir, you said you wanted to do some stuff in this life. I need you to listen to me. Continue this YouTube. That's what I'm doing. I'm telling you, like, that's what I've heard. Now, that's my plan. And I'm sticking to it and I'm going for it, right? I ain't got a choice, yeah? That's the vision, yeah? There's no go with the flow, there's a vision. And I've got to run with it, you understand?
Freaking dream. Living neighbors, I had a dream. America's not my dream.
Where were you heading on your dream when I met you?
So here's my thing about as well about the situation is that as I was listening to Syngin and Tania go at it was funny because they were sitting at the dinner table, everything was all kosher, all good. I don't know who threw the first blow, but all of a sudden the conversation went somewhere it didn't need to go. And I think Syngin dropped something which really was, I believe, was...
It's beautiful, it's great, but there's a lot of racism, there's a lot of poverty, there's a lot of that.
Strong points of view there.
A bite back of pressure. Yeah, of feeling like he's being pressured into a lifestyle that he doesn't want to do, right? For instance, when they said about having kids, oh no, basically when she said, obviously, I don't want to raise my kids in South Africa. Now, this probably was the first blow, actually. Say you don't want to raise your kids in South Africa because there's poverty, there's violence, and there's racism. When there's violence, poverty, and this in America, kind of negated what Tania was saying. But I do understand because the poverty is can be more extreme in South Africa than it is in a lot of parts of America. Right? You said obviously your childhood was very, very good as a way to negate why you should go to why you shouldn't go to South Africa but go to America. But his childhood potentially could have been very good too, and he may want the child to grow up in South Africa. So it really wasn't a very strong argument. I get what she meant. It wasn't a very strong, compelling argument as to why the kids should be in America and not South Africa. Where then what happened was Syngin decided to drop a very low blow, and I'll say this as low, because there was no need to drop this information in front of family. Absolutely none. Yeah? Even if she was coming at you, you could have said, babe, let's chill it, let's go to the room and talk. You didn't. You came at her full force, and then that's what kicked off the beef. When you say oh, who said I was looking to even have kids? It's a deep topic, you know, to say who was even looking to have kids. You're basically just now contravening what she said about kids. And basically letting everybody know you're not even sure if you want kids or not. You're now making her look stupid and silly. I don't agree with her point about the South Africa thing. And that's why the dad had to intervene and say, hold on a minute, but America. But the fact that he dropped that bar about the fact that, listen, at the end of the day, you know, I'm not even looking at having kids. And said it like that, you kind of undercut her real quick, real sharp, real mad. And that's painful. And I think for the situation, I think what wasn't deeped by Syngin is that fact that when you said that, you ignited more feelings of I've given over my life for you for 2 years and you're not giving me anything back. That's what I was hearing, right? You know, she said obviously that empty. She obviously there was empty promises and no direction from Syngin. It's frustrating. But you know, when she got frustrated, she blew up in front of the family in a public arena. Can't be done.
I've been so easy for the past 2 years. And that's where I feel like I'm not being heard or appreciated. I've been so easy. You want to do this? You want to do that?
Tanya, you can't do that. And I know why she did it, but I can't agree. Yeah, she did that because she felt like he wasn't listening. She did that because she felt like he was undercutting her. She did that because she felt like she wasn't being heard. And she felt like the family wasn't necessarily backing her. So she felt a little bit isolated and alone. But you can't blow up like that. Not in a public setting. No. I cannot agree. You got overly emotional. And I respect the fact that she said to Syngin, when Syngin was saying about whatever, she was like, oh, listen, don't go there, calm down kind of thing. I respect that. But you yourself lost the plot. You lost it all. You lost the marbles, mate. Right? And you went off and you got it heated and became very animated and became very emotional, okay? And then that just further will just enhance what they may feel about you. Not necessarily even a bad person, but the fact is you can't control your emotions, and therefore when they will think to themselves, when he says something like, I'm trying to talk to her, but she may not listen, they'll believe her because they'll believe him because they see you doing what you're doing right now. You know, it's a rule, a cardinal rule. Just don't break it. Guys, let me tell you something. You're in a relationship, don't blow up in front of your girlfriend or in front of your girlfriend's parents or in front of your partner's man's parents. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it. Like, don't do it there. Do it solo. If it's a beef between you and your partner, take it solo. Why does the whole family have to understand this? There was no need, right? You know, she went on to say he's not trying things, but he's saying a lot. And this is another thing. When you get into a relationship with a dreamer, somebody who wants to dream and do all these different things, but there's no focus, it's frustrating. And it's frustrating because you can hear the potential, but you're not realizing it. You can hear the potential but not realize it. It's a bit like watching football, seeing a great footballer at 18 who's young and just full of potential, and it gets to 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and they never reach that potential. Why? Focus. Where was the focus? There wasn't any. And because there was a lack of focus, there was a lack of ability to be able to do what needs to be done. Because of a lack of focus, there was an inability to be able to allow that person to progress the way they were going. So all those dreams that Syngin has, all those visions...
Do that and that? No.
But you also go and flow through life.
You have no direction, and that's what scares me. I don't care if you take your time, but have a direction.
Visions he may have, they're not being actualized because there's no focus. I'm going with the wind. That's fine. But you mean that you've got no focus. You mean that you've got no plan. That's what you really mean. You know what I mean? And obviously, she, and one thing I didn't like is the fact that when he was talking, she kept interrupting to say her point. Listen, you're not looking good when you do that. It means also you're not listening. It means that you're responding. And you might say, oh, you know, this is what he always does. But you're doing it in front of family now. So if he always does it, don't change the narrative now in front of family because you want them on your side. If you do it when they are there, you got to do it in a respectful manner because that's his family, not yours. That's his family. He can do what he wants. That's his family. But when it's in front of your family, you can do what you want. But in front of his, you can't contravene him like that. You can't keep cutting him off like that. It just looks rude. It just looks aggressive. It looks like you're not listening. It looks like you're not really interested in trying to actually resolve it, but just want to debate. Like you're just frustrated and angry. And you look like a bitter, angry woman. And then you don't get no points. And no sympathy and no thoughts. You know what I'm saying? And so again, you know, it's like, you know, the father even had to even interrupt and even say, you know, let my son talk, you know. And so the point is, the family are not going to be unbiased to Syngin. They're going to support him. That's their son. Do you know what I mean? They're going to change that. You're trying to change the narrative on them, but they're not going to change it. That's their son.
Just say one thing is, imagine if I ever talk like this in front of my family, you would have the biggest fit. You make me feel like I can't.
And not only that, you know, it was said as well, nobody wants to be belittled. That's why I front of the people. All right, nobody wants to be belittled. That's the truth. So all these relationships, nobody wants to be belittled. Nobody wants to be looking foolish. Nobody wants to look like they don't know what they're talking about. But it is hard, I guess, obviously being in a relationship where you find yourself in a place where you're feeling like you're not considered as important. You're not being heard. You're not being responded to. You're not being appreciated. Right? And there's an almost condescending kind of tone coming through. That is all annoying to have. But again, I reiterate the point. You can't blow up like that in front of famdam. You know what I'm saying? And then she left the room. Okay, you left the room now. You thrown a little tantrum. You've left the room. You've gone into your room. Settle down, sis. Keep it cool. Then you come back in. And instead of apologizing to everybody saying, listen, I'm really, really sorry, guys. So arguing again and saying, you know, if this was my family, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you're not showing what you need to show. I keep talking about this. I'm learning this myself. Feminine energy. Come in there soft. Come in there like, baby, listen, I don't think you're listening to me. You know what I'm saying? And then he has to respond in a different manner. You see, you have to become the cub to the lion. You have to become the lamb to the lion. You understand? For the lamb that was slain. It was a lamb that was slain, not a lion. He is worthy to be praised. So that the person can calm down. If they see you as a lion, you're now a threat. If they see you with masculine energy, they see you as a threat. And the threat has to be neutralized. It cannot stay in contention with another masculine energy. A lion can't stay in the same place as a lion because one has to rule the pride. One has to lead the pack. One has to be in control. And when the other person is challenging, there's a what? A fight. And that's what happens here. So when women are trying to fight, they don't fight in the same way by raising their voice, getting angry, shouting and screaming. They win or they fight by saying, babe, I don't think you heard me. Lowering the tone, softening the voice, coming correct. You understand? Right? Happens all the time, bro. You know what I'm saying? It happens all the time. You have to know how to deal with these issues, bro. But the way she came back in on crud, instantly started the fight again. Do you know what I'm saying? And I was like, blood, you should just come in and apologize. But instead you've come in on crud again. You know, so Tania wasn't really listening. She has a point, but it's combative. You know, it's not the point that's the issue. It's the way you're delivering the point.
How are you doing then? You want to talk? Look, I know.
Man comes in there to ask, and this is why I said that nothing's getting done, because I really believe that as much as Tania has a great point, she's not listening. And when you're not listening, you're not taking in points. When you're not taking in points, you're not going to be able to really dissect what's really happening in front of you. So here's what happened. Syngin comes in the room when she's sitting there, eating her food in a way, eating around the meat that she wants to save to last place. I feel you, sis, I'm with you on that. And when he comes and says, are you okay? He asks 2 or 3 times, and she doesn't respond. Then he begins to speak about, listen, this is what I'm feeling. As soon as he starts talking about how he's feeling, she interrupts to tell him, this is how I feel. And actually, that is wrong. You didn't respond to how you okay. You didn't respond on 2 or 3 occasions. And when he began to speak, then you responded. That's inappropriate. That's incorrect behavior. That's not how you get your point across. That's not how you deal with a situation. You just showed your hand.
Truly did not mean to upset you or...
I'm tired of you making everyone feel like I rush things. I don't give you enough time. I don't let you to be who you want to be.
And then what you're going to do is going to cause more tension, because instead of waiting, letting that person speak and resting and landing, you hit that person mid-air. You're going to get nothing solved. You're going to get nothing done. You know what I'm saying? And so I found that pretty frustrating. You know, and she makes a point. If I'd met you 8 years ago, I would have cussed you out. Yeah? Excuse me? Darling, are you alright? Are you alright? Are you alright? About 8 years ago, I would have cussed you. Well, 8 years ago, I would have never looked at you. How about if I say that? Don't say them bars. Listen, I say to you guys, listen, when you're angry, you must tamper what you say. It cannot be taken back. What you say in those moments cannot be taken back. I can assure you. Relax, cuz. Relax, cuz. Settle it down, blood. You understand? Be easy. When the Bible says, don't let the anger go down, don't let the sun go down in your anger, right? You know what I'm saying? Be angry, but sin not. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. She said, you're great. She said, you're great, but it's time to level up. And it's the tone you took. I don't want to level up because of the way you said it. You're not telling me that you care about my leveling up. You're telling me level up. It's rude. It's all. I keep saying this. You cannot command a man to do. The man is the man. He's a masculine energy. He will not respond to your command. Eve didn't command Adam to eat. She gave him the fruit.
I wouldn't have liked you, and I probably would have cussed you out right away. So I'm so grateful I met you as the man you are now. But like I've told you before, it's time to level up. You feel like you've leveled.
She suggested the fruit. She didn't demand him to eat. She suggested it. Our feminine energy is about suggestion. If you become more masculine in your commanding and directing of a man, he's got enough masculine energy, he's going to respond by saying, no, I won't do it. Don't be stupid. Don't ever talk to me like that. You're nuts. Do you know who I am? That is going to be the masculine energy. Why? Because you didn't come on a feminine tip. You came like another dude. And you're not a dude. So you can't do that. Right? About level up. Like, yo, like, sis, are you okay? You know what I'm saying? It's time to level up. And that is the tone, it's the energy you brought. You know, again, she mentioned about that, you know, she's also a free spirit.
Oh, how the do you think I found you? Being tied down to the ground, not having a free spirit?
Obviously, she's just like him in that respect, but it comes a time where you have to have direction. And again, I respect it. It's true. We can all be free spirits, but it does come a time in your life where you must grow up, where you must have direction, where you must have say, listen, I'm going somewhere and I know how I'm getting there. You understand? Or I'm going to try and take a few steps towards that now. I'm growing towards that. And I think that's very, very important. You know, and one thing I would say is as well, you know, she mentioned about the fact that, how did you get to America? Like, you got to America because of me. Like, you would have never got there without me. And
America because of me. You didn't make that happen on your own.
You think I wanted to come to America?
No.
I felt, again, this arrogance, the audacity to say that shows me where your heart is at. I know you're angry, I know you're pissed, but for you to say, listen, you wouldn't be where you are without me, it's to overstate your importance. And actually what it actually means is that you're losing the grip of your power, so you're trying to assert that power again violently by trying to let the person know that without me you wouldn't make it far, without me you wouldn't do this, without me you wouldn't be here. And actually that shows a lack of power, a lack of ability to control the person, and so now you're going into that particular front. I mean, guys, I like Syngin and Tania. I think they're really cool, but I think the road has come to the end, you know? Although we've grown to the end of the road, still I can't let go. It's unnatural. You belong to me, I belong to you. Go. Okay, no, it's off. Listen, boom, let's get it. Alright, just make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of the uploads. We appreciate you guys. To the end of the